I had dance practice every Wednesday and Thursday, and I hated it. Being one of the laziest children on earth did not help at all. My dance teacher was the crabbiest of all crabs, the meanest of all mean. She hated me, and I hated her right back. We performed Alice in Wonderland. I was a violet in a flower garden. I had an adorable sparkly tutu that was purple and matching ballet shoes. I was a chubby vision in violet. Apart from missing nearly half of the dance, I did pretty good for a 4-year-old, and I had fun. That was the important part.
Summer is my favorite time of year. I love having no school and hanging out with friends. My favorite summer would have to be this past summer when I went to Schlitterbahn Water Park with my family and some family friends. It was so fun because the water park was so big, and there was even a place to stay overnight. We made so many memories riding rides, grilling hot dogs, and eating delicious snow cones. These 4 fun-filled days at Schlitterbahn were some days I'll never forget.
Math homework, long essays, and history reports were finally over. School had ended, and summer had just begun. Just like everybody else, it was my intention to make this summer adventurous and exciting, but that wasn't exactly the case. Instead of hanging out with friends or going to parties, even taking a simple vacation, I stayed at home for most of my summer. Now, don't get me wrong, I did have a few plans here and there, but they mostly consisted of me watching Netflix or eating junk food. Even though my summer wasn't as interesting, it was still one of the best ones yet.
Palm trees, the warm sand at your feet. Can you guess where my favorite vacation was? Hawaii. So my journey all started on a plane. And in my family, there are 5 people, so we all couldn't sit together. So of course, I was the lucky one that had to go sit past the whole tag, kept trying to lean over on my shoulder. But then I finally leaned over to the other side and fell asleep. And the next thing I saw were sunny skies. So I knew I had just arrived in the best place ever, Hawaii. And once we got to our hotel and got all settled in, all I could hear were the waves crashing onto the shore and tumbling back, and my mom yelling at me to get over there so she could smear sunscreen on me and make it look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. But then my movie scene started. My hair blowing, the waves crashing, my feet slowly moving in the warm sand, the cold water slowly rising up my body. Or that's what I thought it looked like. I probably just looked like some crazy psycho. But overall, it was the best vacation ever because I got to spend it with my family.
I would have to say, out of all of my teachers, Mr. Hartsfield would be my favorite. Let me tell you, he is one of the kindest people that I know. He's very encouraging, wise, and smart, plus he's really funny. But most of all, he's a great teacher, and I couldn't ask for anyone else. Love you, old man.
As long as I can remember, Freckles been a part of my family. I heard when I was really young, I fell between the bed while I was asleep. No one could find him, but Freckles knew where I was. He led everyone to where I was. Ever since then, he's been my best friend. Every time I went to my grandparents' house, he was always there. But one day, he wasn't. My granddaddy tried to tell me he went to the Bahamas. But later on that day, my parents said we needed to talk. They said Freckles was a very old and sick dog, but I already knew that. But I know where this was heading. I yelled at him when he wouldn't leave me alone. Now my best friend's waiting for me, wagging his tail, waiting for his best friend to come home.
Our excitement grew as we got closer to our destination. When we arrived, I knew it'd be the most fun birthday ever. I'm just kidding. I was spending it with Maddie and Abby. It was not going to be fun, it was going to be crazy. We arrived at the hotel/water park known as Grateful Flood. The place was huge, and it had a Starbucks, so Maddie and Abby were in heaven on earth. We got our hotel room and changed to our swimsuits. Then we went to the water park and literally went crazy. We rode all the rides at least 3 times. We met the employees. We made up handshakes. There should be music in the background because it was like one of those really, really bad movie montages. Then we got back to our room and changed to our regular clothes. After, we went out for the night, where we saw graves. But we did sure got ice cream. Well, now that I think about it, the ice cream was a bad idea. We got major sugar highs, and the hotel became our personal playground. We were dancing through the halls, Maddie kicked Abby in the face, we were posing in chairs, probably freaking people out, but most importantly, making memories. I have to say, turning 13 was pretty amazing, and it produced the / craziest and most fun birthday ever.
Have you ever had a heart-throbbing moment or a surprise to be on your mind? That's the experience that I had at Six Flags. It was the hottest day of the summer that even the sun was traveling for water. Me and my friends wanted a ride that gave us a lot of air. Can you guess what ride? The Superman. We waited in line for at least half an hour, and then the man escorted us to our seats and buckled us up. On our way up, the ride jerked us a little bit, but before you knew it, we were already there. I was looking up on the horizon. It was so pretty, but then we were back on our way down. The ride kept going up and down, up and down. I felt like I was gonna barf. But then it was finally over, and I faced my fear.
I remember it like it was yesterday. The wind in my hair, my back feeling because I fell asleep at the beach, and those seagulls would attack me because I had a sandwich in my hand. That's Port Aransas for you folks. I've been going on vacation to Port Aransas my whole life. My mom even used to come when she was younger, and that was like a billion years ago. Not calling you old or anything. Anyway, I had so many fun and amazing experiences I will never forget. Like, we got to see baby sea turtles hatch from the shells and got chased by a really scary Portuguese jellyfish and stingrays. We also caught 72 sand dollars. I mean, that should definitely hold a record. Well, maybe not, but you have to admit that's pretty cool. All these fun and amazing experiences may have made this my favorite vacation yet, but I still have many more years to go. Maybe even out of the state next time. Now you know my favorite vacation, and now you know me.
Cool breeze and blue seas. Boy, that reminds me of the time I went to Boston and Philadelphia. I went to Plymouth Rock to relive the story of the Pilgrims and the natives to what you now know as Thanksgiving. I also went to Hampton Beach and Salisbury Beach. The water was so cold, I thought I was going to get hypothermia, but that's okay. The water got refreshing, and the heat of the sun made it a little better. I also visited some of my family's friends, and my mom's godmother and godfather. I even met some family I'd never even met before. After 2 weeks in Boston, I went to Philadelphia and did a lot of sightseeing. By the time we were finished, my feet were bulging with pain, and I fell asleep a few minutes later. In general, I loved my trip to Boston and Philadelphia, and will never forget it.
I like summer so much because we have very long holidays and I can play with my friends or with my little sister. I like soccer, basketball and volleyball. Georgia, it is very amazing and interesting country. Oh my gosh, I like Georgia's people so much. They are very kindly, friendly and interesting. I found many friends and that I have free time, I talk with my friends. I'm Armenian and I can't forget Armenian summers. Every July we have party of water. Every year we have funny, amazing and interesting time.
A summer filled with adventure, car chases, bad guys, no curfew. And it all began like this. School ended and I was walking outside. I got in my car only to notice my mom wasn't driving. It was a man in a mask. There were 2 other men in the back seat. My killer instincts kicked in. I thought about all the possible outcomes and decided to take a chance. I punched the driver in the face, grabbed the wheel, and swerved the car. I opened the door and jumped out. Right after I got out, the car started toppling over and flipped down the street. Then I started running down the abandoned road straight for home. But not really. Pretty much all I did was watch Netflix and eat food. But it was just as exciting.
Beep beep, the honking of the horns around us signaled traffic. Only 2 more hours till we arrived in Florida. Me and my best friend Ellie had been planning this vacation for a year. The next thing I knew, we were pulling into the condo. For the next week, our companions were the crystal clear ocean and the blazing sun. It was as if we were on another planet. All the worries and drama were replaced with the motion of the ocean. We woke up to see the sunrise, built sandcastles, caught fish, and played in the ocean. Not to mention eating our own weight in fruit-flavored snow cones. One night, we even took our boat out as far as we could to see the beautiful sunrise. It was amazing, so many colors, just like a watercolor painting. Hey, look over there, Ellie said. About 3 dolphins leapt out of the water. And that was the last night of the best vacation ever. My family has a very weird and interesting way of making me laugh. They always come up with a ridiculous joke and never let it go. When I was 9 years old, we went to Disney World, and the memories still stick. We rode a bunch of rides, did a lot of walking, and swam every night. When we would get back from the hotel, there would be an animal made from towels. I had such an amazing time, and will never forget it.
come closer to my goals every day. Over the years, I've tried her advice and she's really helped me. I'm still working on some of the things and trying to become a better dancer, but I know I can always count on her.
Have you ever done something so dangerous you broke a bone? Well, a couple years ago, I was so daring I broke my arm. It was the summer of 2013 on Memorial Day. I was at my brother's friend's house because my older brother was babysitting them. As I went into their backyard, they had a trampoline. When I got on, his cousins were on there too. They said to me, "Hey Izzy, try to do an aerial." So I did, knowing that I was going to get hurt anyways. So I did it. 1, 2, bam! I broke my arm. I had to get a cast on for 6 weeks and got lots of stitches. I'm just happy that I got it off.
Have you ever had teachers that you really looked up to? My favorite teacher is my Taekwondo master. He is very old and wise. He has a sense of humor and loves kids. He is retired today, but he still teaches me in private lessons.
Have you ever had a special pet? Well, I have a bird named Zena, and she's really pestering. She's a cockatoo, and that type of bird is super loud. She hates everyone except for my grandmother. She had really rude owners before we got her, and they taught her a couple words that I'm not allowed to repeat.